Good morning, everybody. This is Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric, and this is going to be a video on the two most controversial rules in sports in today's game, or games. In hockey, we have goaltender interference. What the hell does that mean? Nobody knows. In baseball, we have the slide rule into home plate. What the hell does a lane mean? Nobody knows. So let's get into it. First, we'll start with the home plate rule because that's of lesser magnitude and save the best for last. The only reason that's of lesser magnitude is because in hockey you have a lot more battles in front of the net where there's a lot of hitting, pushing, and shoving that can go into the goaltender. In baseball, you do not have nearly as high of a percentage of close plays at home plate. That's just the way the game works. But when you do, all of them, or at least a good chunk of a percentage of them, tend to come down to that rule in today's game. And that rule is just really stupid in itself. The only reason that rule ever came into place was because of one catcher getting injured. It wasn't because of other catchers getting injured. That rule came into place because of Buster Posey, if you really want to sum it down. That's why it came into place. Once a star guy gets injured, they look at it more. There's been other people since then saying, even catchers saying that rule's stupid. I would rather just get hit. So it comes down to the league office sometimes oversteps. If the players want it to be lesser, you're supposed to listen to the players. Because guess what? If they get injured, it's on them then. If they came to you or have been complaining saying that rule's stupid, we should get rid of it. If somebody gets injured for getting hit, then you don't have the liability for that when they're the ones that said we should get rid of it. So that's kind of how stupid the MLB league office has been lately. And they really need to get their act together because it's very highly likely, not just for that rule reason, but for many others for the CBA, that's up in 2 years. Adam Wainwright's already come forward, who's a player rep, and said we're probably going on strike. Whether he's retired at that point, then it'll probably work for the Players Association. He is aging. But the fact of the matter is, they're not getting what they want in the CBA. The MLB deceived them into signing a CBA that they said was better than it actually is. So in hindsight, Players Association really could sue the league, but that's probably not going to happen. So what's going to happen is they're going to narrow it all down to what they want. If the league says no, that's too much, or no, we can't give you that, then you're going to have a shortened baseball season, just like you had a shortened hockey season a few years back. And eventually the league is going to come to the table and say, okay, we'll give you what you want because nobody's making money then. Once the players go, yeah, we'll just sit out a whole year. We have enough money. The league's eventually going to come to you and give you what you want because nobody's making money when no events are going on, no games are going on, and no media events are going on because you think a player's going to appear at a media event to help the league when they're on strike? Hell no. So that rule is definitely going to be brought up in the CBA, which is probably going to piss off the league office, but Manfred's got to get his act together. He's doing a decent job, but he's not listening enough to the Players Association. You're supposed to work together, not work as a divided party. And that's exactly what's going on in today's game. So that rule needs to be fixed. They need to, if they want to keep the rule, define exactly what a lane is, because even though in the rule they have a description of what the lane should be, it still doesn't work because still keep it up to interpretation, where you look at games last year where a guy was sliding in big, that was definitely a big enough lane, and then they're calling safe due to the rule, and then you have it vice versa, where the guy slides in and you don't think that's a big enough lane, and they're calling out. So that rule's all up for interpretation. Now, moving on to goaltender interference. Nobody knows what the hell goaltender interference is. I mean, I watch games this year. I have the NHL streaming thing. I've watched other games other than the Flyers, and there will be games where there was one game where a guy got glazed on the glove, and they called it goalie interference. The next game, I saw a guy kick somebody's pad when he skated through the crease, and there was a goal right after that, and they called it a goal, no goaltender interference. So, figure that. So, they need to figure out how to firmly identify what that is, just like baseball has to figure out how to firmly identify what a lane is. This has been Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric, and this has been a video on two of the most controversial rules in sports. The one is probably going to help lead to a strike eventually if the league office doesn't team up with the Players Association soon, meaning in baseball, Where in hockey, they got the CBA they wanted, so it's probably going to come down to just fixing that rule and not anything other. But I also think the NHL CBA is a little bit into the future. So this has been Sports Fanatic News. I'm Joe Boric. Peace out, everybody. Have a good morning. Stay safe. The weather's much nicer today, right after snow. Go figure that. Peace.